Welcome to the Law, Your Money, and You. We're recording by way of Zoom, and I'm Roberta Sapphire, an attorney in Massachusetts.
I'm Camille Barron, a financial coordinator and healthcare advisor in Massachusetts.
But
And
we have, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We are privileged to have three wonderful guests today, and one of them is a return guest. Who are the others, Roberta? You can tell who.
Okay, well, wait, my nose. The return guest is in the light blue sweatshirt. That's Tate Breyer. He had just finished up his first year at University of Arizona, and he was taking courses by way of Zoom with the school. But what's interesting, all these three young fellas are from Arizona, but right now they're in Minnesota. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Let's start with Tate, then we'll go to Chris, and then Jacob. How do you like the way I know your names? And Chris, if you could move forward a little. My name. Wait, we just want Chris to move forward a little so he'll be in line. There you go.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, start with you, Tate. Go ahead, tell us your name.
I'm Tate Breyer. I'm going in my sophomore year at the University of Arizona. I'm out in Minnesota right now with my best two friends. Let me toss it on to the first one.
I'm Christian Zerihun. I just graduated, or not graduated. I'm going to my second year at Arizona State. Yeah, I went to high school with these two boys, and we're out in Minnesota right now working for a company called EcoShield.
Oh, okay, so you guys speak up a little bit. So Tate is in University of Arizona. Chris is in Arizona State. And Jacob, did you finish a year and then you're not sure?
Yeah, I go to a community college, Chandler Gilbert. My name is Jacob Steigerwald. Went to high school with these two guys as well. And yeah, we're all just out here working for the summer, so. Yeah.
Camille kept asking me, well, what are they doing there? So tell us.
I'm very interested what you're doing in Minnesota.
Yeah, tell our viewers, because this is a new one.
So go ahead. We're door-to-door salesmen. We go door-to-door and we sell pest control for a company called EcoShield. One of our buddies last year came out and did it, and he basically recruited us. He said, I did this last year. I did a good job. I made some money. And if you guys want an opportunity to do the same thing, learn a new skill set, learn some new, basically new abilities, come out and follow me and I'll teach you guys the way.
And what's that been like so far?
It's been tough, but fun, and I've definitely learned a lot. Yeah, I can hand it off to one of these two guys if they want to say a little bit too.
Well, it's definitely been scary in some moments.
Yeah.
We're gonna start off. Jacob got bit by a dog the other day. Actually, by two dogs.
Yeah.
Oh no! What happened?
I knocked on this lady's door. They were jumping at the door, clawing on it for like 30 seconds, and then they were just super aggressive, super riled up, and then somehow they got the door open.
Dogs got the door open?
And
the
then
dogs opened the door?
Yeah. They must have not been putting their weight on it at first, but then when they did, they're like, oh, it's open. And then they came and they attacked me.
What kind of dogs were they?
I wish I knew, but it wasn't like a
pit
bull or a German Shepherd or anything like that. But I've never had a dog. I don't really know dogs like that. But
was it little? Big?
Oh, they were pretty big.
Oh. Boy.
Yeah, I mean it's nice out here. It's good to get some work in. You know, it's long hours, long days, but it's good to get that work ethic, you know, under your belt when you're young. So.
Well, I wonder what it's been like. People are very suspicious, and sometimes rightfully so, when people just show up knocking at their door. How do people sometimes react when they see the three of you, or the one of you? Is it one individual, or are you all together?
We all go out separately every morning. Actually, the past 2 weeks, we've all been in the same car group together. So we all go out. Don't tell our manager, but we've been getting like Chick-fil-A in the mornings, eating some Chick-fil-A breakfast. And then I drop them off in their areas. I go to my area, and then we knock for about 4 hours until lunch. And then we knock for 4 more hours after lunch. But yeah, it's been fun. Definitely an experience. It's getting hot out here. I'll tell you that much. It was like 90 degrees this week. But to answer your question, people when you first knock on their door,
Yeah.
get mixed emotions. Some people get really mad and they say get off their door, but the good majority of people kind of forget that we're in the middle of a pandemic. They kind of forget what's going on in the world around them, and they listen to your pitch. So actually, our office put up the most sales an office has ever put up in a day before. We put up 200 sales in one day. So it's actually
Congratulations.
really good.
So when they answer that way, if they're not happy that you're there, do you have ways of kind of changing their opinion?
Well, if they're extremely unhappy, you don't even give it a shot. It's their house, their rules. You just leave them alone. But if it's like someone, if you start, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, and they're just like, no, I'm not interested. There are ways to like just keep the conversation rolling. You don't even have to keep it about the pest control. You can just keep the conversation rolling, and then get it back to what you want to talk about. But you always have to make them like you and make them trust you first before you.
What happened with Jacob with the dogs? Did the owners come?
Yeah, the owner came out. She was super apologetic, and
Sure, you could sue her.
yeah, I know, but she seemed like a nice lady, and she was like super sorry, and yeah, she was really nice about it, and it wasn't all on her, because I did stop by their house like earlier, and they didn't answer, and so when people don't answer, and then it gets later in the day, we go back to see if they're gonna, because sometimes people are at work, so I went back, and then that's the second time I knocked on their doors when it happened. But yeah, like.
Did she sign up?
What's that?
Did she
No,
sign up for the dog bite?
I wish. Maybe sometime in the future. I mean, we've been in contact, so I told her, I said, if any time in the future you need some pest control, you know who to call.
I mean, that's funny. Yeah, you should spray some on yourself to keep the dogs off. What did you put on your bite?
I've just been putting hydrogen peroxide on it a lot, like twice a day, and then Neosporin.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I went to a doctor, had it checked out, and
Oh, you did.
I'm taking like antibiotics right now, just to make
Oh,
sure.
see, now who pays for that? The company, or did you end up? Are you good?
It was our insurance covered it, so. Yeah.
We're independent contractors. The company really doesn't do much in terms of that, but it's run very well, and there's a lot of benefits if you like hit a certain revenue or like you sell a certain amount on a certain day, you get a bunch of free stuff and a bunch of incentives. So that's nice.
Well, you're still about what are you each of you 20?
19.
We're all 19.
Oh, you're all 19. So what do each of your parents think of this?
So when I first told them about it, they didn't like it, and they were like, there's no way that's real, or like there's no way you can make that much money doing it. And then I showed them the proof, because the kid that recruited us, I've known him since like middle school, and then I knew him in high school, and then he goes to ASU with me, but he's a year older than me. And I was like, listen, Mom, Dad, he did this. I've known him since middle school. If he can do this, there's no way I can't do this. Just let me go do it. And they respected it. They were like, yeah, if you want to go do it, you're an adult now. You can do it. But they didn't love it at first, and now they're happy with it. They're happy I'm going, learning a good work ethic, gaining new skills, and I'm learning to live by myself. Because when I went to ASU, I was only 20 minutes away from them.
Oh, so there's three of you in one apartment, or in
There's 4 people.
How does that work?
It's 2 rooms, so we share a room, 2 people in one room, 2 people in the other room. Yeah.
And you have a kitchen there, etc.
Kitchen, 2 bathrooms.
And it's just like a common area, like a living room.
That's where we're in right now.
Yeah,
we're in the common area.
Then does the company have like weekly meetings or every 2 weeks? I mean, how long are you there for, and how long have you been there?
Well, they have meetings every day that we go out and sell, so 6 days a week. But just I don't know about in terms of like meeting between like the partners, but yeah, we have like weekly sales meetings every morning before we go out, and we've been talking about. I mean, we've been out here for. Well, I've been out here for about 2 months, right?
Right.
They've been out here for about like a week less than 2 months, so about like a month, 3 weeks, and we're probably gonna be here another month or two.
We'll
Another
see
month
what
or two.
happens with school, because if school is back to in person, then I will be getting back to the University of Arizona as fast as possible. But if it's all online, then we might stay out here through September, because that's an extra, who knows how much, depending on if we sell, that's a whole nother 30, 40 days.
Where in Minnesota are you?
Oh, wait, go ahead, Aaron, Camille.
Where are you in Minnesota?
So we're near Minneapolis, but
Ooh,
Minnetonka. But our company services all throughout the Twin Cities, so both Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yeah, okay.
but how's the pandemic in Minnesota as compared to Arizona? Because Arizona's up there now.
It's not nearly as bad as Arizona, but I'm honestly not even up to track on the numbers, but I know it's not as bad as Arizona.
Do you guys wear masks when you go out?
Yes, of course.
Every day.
Yeah.
We knock, take about 6 to 10 feet back, take off our masks, talk to them. If we're ever gonna come in, talk about price or how much it costs, we throw back our mask, get closer, kind of show them what's up, and then we keep that on for as long as we're in 6 feet. That thing's on our face.
So Jacob, what did your parents think when you decided to do this?
They were skeptical. They didn't really. I mean, it kind of sounds skeptical. When you say you're going to make a certain amount of money in 3 months of the summer, but now that I'm out here and the money's actually coming in, they're super happy about it.
Yeah.
How often do they pay you?
Every 2 weeks, or wait, every week.
Really?
There's like a draw of your commission that you get every 2 weeks, and then there's cash bonuses that you get every week, if that makes sense. So the draw of your commission, you don't get your full commission up front because of the fact that it's a contract and the people are paying throughout the year.
Oh, so you're drawing on your earnings. Isn't that clever?
Yeah.
And what about you, Tate? What did Mark and Alexis have to say when you told them?
Yeah, same as really anyone who would tell their parents about this job. They just don't believe that you can actually make that much money in a summer, that like the person ahead of you made that much money and the person ahead of them made that much money, and it kind of just seems like a pyramid scheme. But Mark, my father, he did door-to-door sales for a little bit with a couple of his own companies, one with like a different company. So he was all down for me, and in his words, to go waste my summer. But we're having a good time.
What's your relationship with him? We're wondering if he just wanted to get rid of you.
Maybe the siblings just wanted to get rid of him, right, Tate?
No,
There would be one less kid. He's got a lot to worry about. So
no, I think he calls his mother every day, so he's on the good list. Right. You guys call your parents every day or every other day or something like that?
Yeah, pretty often.
Just about.
and if I don't, they call me.
So how has it been? How did it end up after, like, we had interviewed you about the coronavirus when you were still finishing school? How did it end up, and how did it end up with the, like, we didn't have anybody from Arizona State, and for community college you don't stay there, right, Jacob?
Correct, yeah.
So how did it end up, like, Arizona State? Did you get your stuff out okay, and University of Arizona?
The way it went for me, I'll explain ASU and then Tate can explain U of A. But so I was out of the state. It was spring break, and I was in Mexico, and then I start getting like emails and stuff about how they're canceling school for the rest of the. Or no. First it was just for 2 weeks. They're canceling school for 2 weeks online, and then we'll see where we go from there. And so I come back from spring break, and I was planning to move back into my dorms because I didn't plan for anything to change. But after that, they said you can keep living in the dorms if you want to, and they said they weren't going to refund us at all at first. But basically, school went online for those first 2 weeks, and I was just living at home because my parents didn't want me to be exposed to all those people who could possibly have COVID at the dorms because there's just so many people there. And then after the 2 weeks, they said the rest of the semester is online, but they still said they weren't refunding us for the dorms. And then what they did was, I think about like in April, they were like, okay, everyone has to move out of the dorms, or not everyone. If you don't have anywhere else to go, you can stay in the dorms, but if you leave the dorms, we will refund you. It was like half of what was left.
Wow.
So it was like, I don't remember, it was like 1,000 something. But they gave us back $200, and I wasn't living there, so it wasn't even a big deal. I just officially moved out, got all my stuff out, and then yeah, the rest of the school year was online, which I didn't personally like. I don't enjoy online school, but it was okay. It wasn't terrible. But I'll hand off the mic to Tate.
Have you got notice from the schools at all as to what they're going to do?
As of right now, they're saying it is in person, but
That's what they're saying for ASU.
yeah, but it's like you can't be certain in a time like this. Like that's
not very smart.
Ours is
I'm pretty
U of A is in person. Right now, it's going to be in person until Thanksgiving break, and then the rest is online.
Really?
So, yeah. So if I had to take a guess, we're probably going to go full online the rest of the year, which is a little bit of my hope because I kind of want to stay out here for another month and sell on the doors. Yeah, nothing really changed too much since the last interview as far as like how they handled our situation, except update on my grades. I just passed all my classes. I failed all of them. And so I passed them all. I ended with a 3.75 my freshman year. So that was
Congratulations.
yeah.
That's
Good for you.
good.
That was pretty good. And then Jacob attended community college. I have no idea what they did for community colleges.
Well, what did they do? Because we have community colleges here. Actually, a lot of high school students go on to community college for either 1 or 2 years, and then they apply to a regular university, which by then it becomes more affordable. So it's really a good idea for a lot of people. So how are you doing, Jacob? How did they handle that?
It wasn't like what happened to him. It didn't turn into a pass fail, which kind of a bummer. I wish that didn't happen, but yeah, they just stayed on the normal grades and everything just went online. None of my classes were too difficult to do online, but one of them was like a geology class, and it was just a mess having to
Geology?
Yeah, geology, like rocks, studying
Yeah.
rocks. And so it was pretty much a mess. That one, you had to do a bunch of stuff on Zoom that was just meant to be done in person. But other than that, everything went pretty smoothly. So.
And I want to say one more thing. Our classes weren't pass fail either, but like they gave it to the teacher's discretion. If the teacher wanted to make it pass fail, they could. But like every single one of my classes wasn't pass fail. It was A, B, C, D, regular grading scale.
That's just another reason why I am such a great decision maker and chose the University of Arizona. Bear down, go Wildcats.
Well, I think it sounds like you're getting a different kind of education, but equally useful with what you're doing for the summer.
Yeah, they're learning how to do business. Actually, it's like you're taking a business course. And
Exactly.
I bet you 90% of our viewers have never heard of anything like this. It's fascinating. But what's funny is we were on the phone with Tate the other day when he was telling us not to go out anywhere. And somebody knocked on our door. They were canvassing, which you don't get too much of here, but they were doing it for the lawn. So I don't know what it was, but they probably should thank Tate, but we signed up. We signed up for our show. But somebody, the only other, and so we were wondering, I don't know if he asked them if they were just canvassing door to door. I'm not sure what the answer was, but I know they did that on the mosquitoes, the pest, where they would go around, I have a special deal for you. And all your neighbors have signed up, and if you sign up, you get this. What's your spiel? Are you allowed to share that with us? Like, what do you say? How do you start?
Basically that, but better.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Can we hear some of it?
It's like, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. Like, how's your day been going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hot out here, really hot. sorry to stop by. I work for this person, this person, this person, and this person. I take care of their bug stuff. I'm sure you guys have kind of been noticing the same thing with a couple like the ants getting inside, maybe a spider or two. How have the mice kind of been for you guys the past couple of years?
Yeah.
Do you know about mice?
Yeah, the mice, those are those little guys getting into like attics, garages, stuff like that. Here's the thing though, is all of that mice product that we use to take care of the mice, it's already sitting on the truck for most of those neighbors over there. If you could just do me the favor and let me get that first service done for you, I'll do it all for about half off.
Oh,
Really? Oh, that sounds good.
wow. Do you have a lot of stink bugs out there?
Yes, of course. Are you dealing with the same sort of stink bugs your neighbors are?
Terrible.
Are the little ones with like yellow or brown shells?
Yeah, they're terrible.
And when you step on them, they kind of like squeeze out that like, ew, yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
don't step on them. We're very
spray them,
nice to them.
too.
We pick them up and then we take them and talk to them and then dump them down the toilet.
Well, that's all right too. But
So they're getting inside for you guys.
yeah.
Oh, we have them inside. But
We have
I-
them inside too.
yeah. Do you still have them, Camille?
Yeah, I mean, we've been spraying and everything, so it's not as bad. But whenever I see one, I feel like I go on the attack. I just
Really? I
and I
feel
grab
bad
the
for
spray
them.
and I just spray them, even though I know they might already be dead. I continue to spray because how dare you come in my house?
The ones we find are dead. And then you wonder, how did you get in? How do you get in? Don't you know you're not wanted?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
funny? That's so funny. So
And there's certain kind of bugs that bother me more than others, and that's the one that bothers me the most.
what, the stink bug?
Yes, right. When I was going to school in Boston, it was the cockroaches.
Oh
Those are
yeah, well, in
terrible.
Boston.
The
Yeah.
little ones or the big ones?
Well,
Little ones are big
Yeah.
ones.
they were, to me, no matter how big they were like big ones.
Yeah, but
But
they
it's
have
not like the
different ones.
Not like the ones that you get when you go down to the islands, those huge things, not those.
Oh, you know, the ones in Arizona are different than the ones in Massachusetts. I don't know. Do you have them in Minnesota there? Have you seen any bugs where you're staying?
What kind of bugs?
Cockroaches she was talking about.
I'm gonna be super honest with you, my beautiful grandmother. Don't tell my mom this. These apartments are kind of gross. We got like 30 fruit flies. I had like a fly land on my face last night.
Okay, but listen, that's because their apartment is a lot more dirty than ours. We don't.
Oh, you got a different apartment, Jacob?
Yeah, we were in the same one, but then we had some people move out and we had to like switch up our rooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, theirs has a lot more bugs because it's more dirty and it's because it's on the first floor.
Ugh.
So, but we still get a little bit of bugs here and there. Just like when we accidentally like leave the door open or something like that, we'll get some gnats flying in, things like
We
that.
gotta start cleaning.
Maybe
Just
we'll hire some
Use
cleaning.
bleach. Pour bleach all over the place.
But yeah, it's been a really, really fun time. We invited, it's probably like us three, and then we probably got another like 10 or 12 friends back home that we're really, really close with, have a group chat that stays active throughout the whole year. And we invited the other 10, 12 to come out with us, and they said no. And we're looking back now, it's entirely their loss. We're having a great time. I went to the 18 plus casino last night and made $750.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're getting the interesting stuff. I'll tell you folks not to watch the last half. But what, the 18 plus, so all you have to do is be 18 to get in?
Yes, it's the craziest thing ever. You just want, oh my God. And it's like the first time I've ever had like my own real like cash that I can go waste if I want to. So I walk in with a $100 bill. I'm like, I'm going to lose this $100 bill. But sometimes I win, and I'm probably up like $1,500 on the casino this
Oh
summer.
my God.
Yeah, I'm destroying them.
You are. And what are you playing your money on?
We just play blackjack, 21, whatever. Yeah, it's so much fun. But this is kind of interesting too. Only 3 people can sit at a table right now.
Yeah, because
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so the coronavirus, it hit them. How long have they been open? Or did they ever close?
As far as it opened like
It was
June 1st.
Yeah, it was like June 6th. Somewhere between that. June 1st and June 6th. Somewhere in between.
You have to wear a mask at all times while you're in there.
They give you a mask and they temperature read you when you walk in.
What
They
is
have,
still,
like,
Roberta, our casinos are opening Monday.
oh, are they? But
Yeah, that's
meanwhile, we
phase three.
we still have a problem with the banquet facilities. They're not letting them, they're letting all these groups come in. Protests, they can't stop protests and they can't moderate them. And the people can be 1 foot next to each other without masks and they can't do anything about that. But if somebody wants a wedding, they don't want to let them have the wedding. It's really, but the casinos are opening, so they think they're going to be 6 feet apart in a casino.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They try to enforce it.
They try, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I make a lot of money at the casino. I have a great time.
Okay, so what do you guys play at the casino? Do you watch?
Blackjack.
Camille, I think we're almost ready to wrap up.
Oh my!
What do you think?
I don't really want to. I think this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I want to hear what they play. What do you play?
Blackjack.
We all play blackjack.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a house game.
Everything in the casino is a house.
So we just play it. All three of us don't actually really know like how to play blackjack correctly, and I think that's why we win so much.
That's not true. He doesn't. He's kind of getting
doesn't?
the hang of it, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I feel like he does too.
I just ignore the rules because honestly, in my mind, here's what I'm thinking is that if you play by the rules, then the casino has to win. Then the casino always wins. But if you don't play by the rules and you split tens and you just hit when you're not supposed to, that's how you win.
That's right. Break the rules is how you win.
Rules were meant to be broken.
That's a good way to end. That's a good way to end. I haven't been keeping time, I have to confess. I usually do. But this is really great. But I got an inward clock, so I think it's just about time.
Oh, these kids are so adorable, aren't they?
Yeah, we could go over a little bit. Didn't it go by fast?
Yeah, I did. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
We loved it.
Well, we'll have you come back.
Maybe at the end of the summer.
At the end of the summer. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, at the end of the summer, when you go back home. Listen, word of advice from an old mother politician business person. When you go home, don't tell people how much you made or that you ended up with this, because then they'll borrow money from you. And you don't want to have to do that and have to turn down people.
All right.
Don't let people know what you got.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good.
Meanwhile, when will you be 20? Right, Jacob? When will you be 20?
November 5th.
November 29th for me.
I got less than a month till August 2nd.
I didn't hear Chris.
November 29th.
Oh, 2 Novembers, and then we got, I know when yours is, Tate, August 2nd.
Pretty soon here.
So you were all born in the year 2000.
Yep.
That's so easy to remember,
Yeah.
It's so easy. Well, we thank you for coming on, the three of you. We wish you luck. Camille's going to wind up.
Yeah, this is fun. This is great. I love what you're doing. I would never be able to do it. I would never be able to sell door to door. So I admire you. And to our viewers, this has been quite entertaining, and I hope you enjoyed it. These are all serious students, college students, and they're finding a way to earn some money over the summer, doing something that probably most of us wouldn't like doing, but they're doing great. And we'll definitely have them back before the end of the summer. And please let us know if you'd like more information or you have any ideas about other topics, because remember, this is your show, The Law, Your Money, and You.